want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Yeah. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Yeah.
Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid since their 11th of December in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Osterfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kickoff. Well, today's early kickoff in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. They make 3 changes since that game, with Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes coming in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. As for Simon Weaver's side, they make 3 changes as well, with Fallowfield, Kerry and Thompson replacing Hall, Diamond and Austerfield. That's since their 1-0 win against Carlisle last time out, that one on the 4th of January. It's Luton Town against Harrogate Town in a 12:30 kick-off. Well, today's early kick-off in the FA Cup sees Luton Town hosting Harrogate Town. Both sides separated by 2 divisions in the English pyramid. The Hatters currently 16th in the Championship, with Harrogate sat 13th in League 2. However, Harrogate come into this one much the fresher, as Luton haven't played since their 11th of December draw against Fulham. Well, we'll leave that one there. It's a warm welcome along to unofficial off-tube studio commentary of this FA Cup 4th round clash between Luton Town and Harrogate Town, as not only did we have a late kick-off, we've also had a false kick-off as the players have kicked off for Luton. The referee, James Linington, just getting his clock set and will eventually get us underway. It's myself, Matt Guy, and James Mason alongside me. 2 teams here with 2 leagues separating them in the English divisions. Could we be up for an upset, James?
Could be. Luton aren't in great form at the moment, and you'd suggest that championship survival, maintaining their championship status, is high upon Nathan Jones's agenda, and an FA Cup run is maybe not in there. They've even got the potential of a late promotion push, potentially, Luton, if they manage to get on a run of form, and I don't think that FA Cups will really help them, or a long run in this cup will help them. Obviously, it's good for the money, but I think Harrogate Town, they come into this one and they're in a good little bit of form. They're good away from home as well. Was it 1 defeat from the last 6, I think, away from a 1-0 comp? So, they're playing well on the road, and they will fancy in what has already been a weekend full of upsets. Yeah, they're a confident side, aren't they, Harrogate Town, and coming into this one, as mentioned pre-game, they have been playing more recently, played Carlisle just a few days ago, whereas Luton haven't played for a month. As the ball's whipped in here, it's flicked towards goal by Harrogate. A punch comes out from the goalkeeper there for Luton, but Harrogate's still on the front foot here. The punch came out there from James Shea, the Luton goalkeeper. Didn't look too assured with that one either. Just came out with the one fist, and tell you what, Harrogate Town pushing Luton back early. Yeah, I mean, you see plenty of that. Probably some long balls into the box, but I'll tell you what, the keeper, James Shea, he absolutely hammers this with a punch, but then he gets his own player as well when he punches it. The follow through, it's the elbow, catches his own teammate there. It's Rhys Burke. It looks like it's the elbow, because the way he's staying down, he's been really caught by that one, but he's still down on the floor. He looks a little bit groggy. He's got the physios around him, but that is a tough one to take, less than 2 minutes into the game. Yeah, I didn't see that initially. Good spot there. It was a solid arm that came across, wasn't it? He's only just been moved onto his back here, Rhys Burke, of course, getting the medical attention that he needs. And I tell you what, I did look at the 2 lineups, which we will bring you in a second, but it was Harrogate Town who have only got 4 players on the bench today due to injuries and COVID and that sort of thing. Luton Town have actually managed to field a full bench, but these injuries and COVID situations are certainly affecting the 2 teams, and Nathan Jones won't want an early injury. No, we won't, but it's beggars belief, really, that some of these Premier League teams have got games called off in the top flight, and they've asked for games to be called off at times. And then you've got Harrogate Town, whose squad will be nowhere near the same strength and depth and quantity of teams in the Premier League. Like you said there, they've fielded just 4 subs on the bench, but they're still happy to play it. It's Harrogate then today, they've got 1 goalkeeper, 2 centre-halves, and an 20-year-old midfielder, who's only played 1 game for the club on the bench. It's crazy, isn't it? It's ridiculous. And the fact you mentioned there about Premier League teams with their under-23s, basically, well, they take on teams like this in the EFL Trophy. So, an under-23 side would maybe have a good chance of beating a team like this. So it is crazy that this has gone ahead. Still Harrogate though on the front foot down the left-hand side, looking for a cut back here. It is cut back. It's a strike at goal. It's blocked away. The initial strike came in from Luke Armstrong as he drifted to the left-hand side. It was an initial long ball that went forward, and the defenders are certainly struggling here. Harrogate just able to sweep something up at the back there, but this low sun might be affecting this game. It's certainly apparent on the camera screens that we're seeing here, but I think that some of the players as well. Yeah, there's a few long balls have gone up there, and it's been difficult for them as Harrogate come forward again. Yeah, down the left-hand side again, another cross into the box. It's a good turn away there. I think Rory McCardle coming in eventually to steer one away. Sorry, it was Sonny Bradley, the left-sided defender for and skipper for Luton. In behind him was Luke Armstrong, but once again it's Luton down that left-hand side, this time at the left foot of Lewis Page, overlapping on that left full-back position. And they have certainly started the brighter. We've got the number 7 arm in the air, George Thompson, over this corner kick, in swinging right footed ball towards the front post. It's headed out there, I think, by Elijah Adebayo at the front post, is it? I can't quite
see there. No, Cameron Jerome, a name that many will know from his days in the Premier League. As the ball comes in once again from the second corner, it's just off the head of a Luton shirt there. I tell you what, that was ever so close. There were a couple of players attacking in behind.
Much better than the first corner that was. The first one didn't beat the first man and was rather poorly headed behind by Cameron Jerome, chested I think it was actually, but then that second corner is brilliant, like I said, just a little flick to get it away, but third corner in quick succession.
Yeah, within the first 5 minutes still of this game, and Page has come across from left back to take this in-swinging corner. It's another poor one, but another poor clearance as well. I think again from Cameron Jerome this time. He's not managed to steer it away from goal. He's just fired it into the stands.
Just use your left foot. Just use your left foot to clear that way. He's gone with his right. It's always just going to go behind. But yeah, another attempt, second bite of the cherry for this, as the referee's just having a word with some players that are jostling in the box.
Yeah, there's quite a group of them inside the 6-yard box, just in front of the goalkeeper James Shea. He's had to make a save already. Short corner laid back towards Page now. Left-footed ball in towards the far side of the box as the goalkeeper catches it, goes down. But he's able to hang on to that one, and Luton escape that early pressure from Harrogate. The two team lineups for you then, it's James Shea in the sticks, we've mentioned a few times already. A back five for Luton with Bree, Burke, Naismith, Bradley and Bell. A midfield of Lansbury, Clark, and then there's Gomez and Jerome supporting Adebayo. We're not exactly sure how that's lining up on the field, but we will see as the game develops. Harrogate, though, on the other hand, they've got Oxley between the sticks, Fallowfield, Sherrin, McCardle and Page on the defence. Thompson, Falkingham, Kerry, Diarra, Armstrong and Muldoon. So that's more likely to be two up top, isn't it, with the two strikers, Armstrong and Muldoon up there, as Luton now coming down the right-hand side, looking for a cutback. It's chipped into the box. It's a header in there from a Harrogate man. Comes out to the left-hand side now for Luton, looking to lift another ball into the far post. That one's a poor cross. Claps in there from Cameron Jerome, but not really the cross that he wanted.
No, not the cross, but you suspect if a chance comes to Jerome, then he's probably going to stick it away from that distance out. But tell you what, the players are having trouble with the sun. We're having trouble with the sun as well.
Yeah.
With the camera view we had there, we could barely see anything of the players or the numbers on the back of the shirts anyway. But that's the first real sort of spark that we've seen of Luton so far in these early exchanges. But interesting now on how the teams are going to line up. I mean, I've got Harrogate down as a 4-3-3, but it could be different. Luton, it could be a 3-4-3. It could be a 3-4-1-2. I think it's flexible, I think, from both teams.
Absolutely. Jerome just setting a man free down the left-hand side. It's Mendes Gomez left-footed into the box. Another scrambled clearance and a second one, then falls at the feet of Thompson down the right-hand side. He was able to smash this one clear. It's touched down then at the back there by Cal Naismith, and Luton can gather possession. But Luton's certainly working their way back into this game, and they've got three very entertaining players up top there. They've got Carlos Mendes Gomez, who's a bright left winger, Adebayo, a young striker who's been knocking in the goals this season, and Cameron Jerome, who we've already mentioned. He was the one that created that previous chance down the right.
Yeah, it was. They're just growing into it now, aren't they? After a bright start from Harrogate, Luton just seemed to get the foot on the ball a little bit more, but I think a lot of it is about the focal point of Cameron Jerome, isn't it? If you can get the ball up to him, he can hold it up, he can bring others into play, and they do have a little bit of pace on the wing. So interesting. Both teams have made, well, you'd say, good starts to this game now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an entertaining first 8 minutes or so as Mark Oxley knocks his goal kick long. It's a couple of bits of head tennis across the middle. Eventually picked up by Adebayo down the left. Mendes Gomez goes down the line, but ball's won and tackled away and will fall back at the feet of Amari Bell. And then eventually skipper Sonny Bradley just goes back to his goalkeeper now. But after that early spell, it's certainly Luton who are controlling the ball and looking for a long one down the right-hand side now. It's knocked up to Jerome there. It's headed out by a Harrogate head, and once again it comes back to that back three line of Luton. Ball down the right-hand side into Breeze, just been caught there, and free kick will be given to the Hatters, the home side, just inside the Harrogate half on the right. And it's switched over to the left now. Header on from Adebayo in towards Mendes Gomez, is it? Or is it Mari Bell, sorry. Looking to whip one in now with his left boot. It's deflected and will recover it, but heads it backwards in only into a Harrogate head. It's into a Harrogate foot, sorry. It's Diarra then driving through the middle. Tackle comes in quickly, but it's certainly a clear intent so far. Luton, long ball down the left-hand side 3 times already.
Yeah, they have been. You know, Harrogate aren't really sort of being aware to that because there's lots of space, and I think if Amari Bell could have got the ball out of his feet a bit quicker there, and there's a chance to get in behind. It doesn't look great on the pitch-wise, that left-hand side either. There's a few sort of just looks like some damp, boggy bits down that side of the field.
Yeah, it does look quite long as well, the grass, doesn't it? A little bit difficult to play the ball through along the ground, and that's potentially why they're going with the aerial route so far. Luton, there's a little bit of a tussle between Rory McArdle and Elijah Adebayo there. McArdle just using the experience, or lack of, should I say there, to hold the man in front of him, but give away a free kick. It's a poor one to give as well. Although it is in a central position, it's difficult to get a ball in.
Yeah, maybe try and work something, play it short and out wide, and then whip one in. But yeah, it is a bit of naivety, really. I think it's good hold-up play from the Luton striker. They know what's going to happen. You know, they feel a little bit of contact and go down, and they get this out of set piece.
So Luton with a free kick around about 30 yards away from goal. 10 minutes into this game, as the ball's clipped to the left-hand side, looking around the back there, but it's a header that comes in eventually from Rory McArdle to prevent Cal Naismith from getting on the end of that cross. McArdle just having a word with whether it's a couple of his players or the referee there, I'm not sure. But he has to nod that one out for a corner kick. And, if the goalkeeper's view is as restricted as ours is right now, I'd be surprised if he could see anything. It's whipped towards the front post. I think a Harrogate head onto that one. It comes out to the edge of the box. Sliding challenge comes in, a strong one, won by a Luton man. They'll cross from the left-hand side in towards the box. Will it be flicked on? No, it's a Harrogate head once again. And down the right, it's Thompson to try and clear, and it's deflected away by Amari Bell there and goes out for a throw-in. But yeah, as I say, if the goalkeeper can see as little as we can, then they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I mean, that was difficult. The ball came in and we could see nothing bar the sun. But again, it wasn't the greatest ball. There's a few of those where they've gone to the near post and been easily cleared away. The sort of problem factor here for Harrogate is when they get the ball, they're trying to it away and just clear it upfield, and Luton know that, and they press high, they win the ball back, and it's putting them in some dangerous positions.
Absolutely, and down the left now, Bell is driving at the defence once again, feigns the first cross, looking to drive down the line against Fallowfield, goes all the way to the byline. Did that go out of play? The referee, I don't think, could see initially, but then has finally given a goal kick. So Bell once again given time and space down the left-hand side, but once again not able to get the ball into the box as he so desired. Everyone goes jogging upfield, ready for Mark Oxley to take the goal kick. Plenty of travelled and are sat inside Kenilworth Road watching this game. The magic of the FA Cup still rumbles on as Oxley goes long over into the Luton half. A couple of headers come down, and it comes down eventually to Cameron Jerome. Good ball to the left-hand side now by right-hand side, sorry, by Mendes Gomez into Bree. He's got a man down the line, looks to clip one into the box. It's come back towards Bree now, out to the right-hand side again. Another cross comes in towards the penalty spot area. It's headed out by a Harrogate head, and a free kick will be given to Harrogate. A knock on that head from Ryan Fallowfield there, feeling the effects of that one. But they're certainly very physical up front, our Luton so far, especially the likes of Adebayo and Jerome. And I think Adebayo's just headed the back of Fallowfield's head there.
Yeah, painful one, but it's good, strong defending there from Fallowfield. He got a good leap there, but yeah, they're tall and they're strong up front, aren't they, Luton? Jerome there, you mentioned Adebayo. Just need a little bit better delivery, I think, from the flanks for Luton, and I think they'll probably have some opportunities, but still can't really separate the two teams. I mean, the home side have had more possession, but nothing really for the keeper to do yet.
Nope. I absolutely agree with that one, as Oxley will go with the goal kick into the Luton half now, all the way forward. It's a long kick, but well headed out from the back by Luton, picked up down the right by Fallowfield, fires it forward into the feet of Brahima Diallo. Now inside into skipper Falkingham. Just turns inside the Luton half for a moment and feeds it out to the right once again. Fallowfield looking to drive down that line, flicks it inside. It's a good flick inside towards Diarra's. Then, I tell you what, taking a little bit too much time at the back. Where's Cal Naismith there? Very confident that his goalkeeper was going to find position, but still Harrogate come forward. Offside flag comes up eventually in the end for Diallo down the Diarra, sorry, down that left-hand side. Offside flag from the right-hand side, and you can just see from him as well, the sun is right across his eyes there. But Muldoon was the man who ran in behind and flicked it on, but no one really in the box to try and trouble the Luton defence.
Yeah, the high press that Harrogate had in the opening sort of 4 or 5 minutes, they've just sort of resorted to falling back a little bit, sitting in, maybe inviting a little bit of pressure. I suppose you'd expect that maybe with Luton. Obviously, they're the highest sort of division side, and that you'd feel the quality would come through. But Harrogate just need to try and keep on the front foot, keep on the press. Otherwise, you're going to allow Luton to play.
Ball flicked in behind the Harrogate defence now. McArdle just scampers backwards and then turns quickly and almost sends a hospital pass to his centre-half partner there, Nathan Sharon. He did really well initially to turn past Adebayo, but then gave the ball into a really tricky situation. And Luton have the ball once again. It's flicked down the right-hand side and headed on in towards Cameron Jerome. He flicks it down the line. Mendes Gomez can't quite get there, but does in the end as the ball just about stays in play. A couple of Harrogate men are there. And the ball goes out for a throw-in on the far side for Lewis Page to go across and take. But, yeah, we've seen Mendes Gomez now on the right-hand side of that attack. It's certainly fluid. I mean, Jerome is definitely the focal point, as you mentioned earlier, James, but Adebayo and Mendes Gomez are drifting everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's difficult for us to keep an eye on where they are, and also the Harrogate players, you know, it's if they're man marking or if they're doing the zonal mark, it depends what they're being instructed by the manager. But yeah, if you're being tasked on keeping hold of one player, then you're going to be doing a lot of running.
Absolutely. Ball comes back now with Luton as Harrogate try to press forward. It's just a long one along the ground in towards Adebayo. The ball's then flicked away, comes to the left-hand side now for Muldoon and Harrogate. Back in towards Muldoon as he clips the ball to the right-hand side now with Fallowfield. Space to run into in front of him, just chops it back for a moment, continues his run, but Harrogate just hold on to possession for a moment with their skipper Falkingham. Good ball in behind now to Fallowfield, looking to drive in behind the box, and I tell you what, it's a great ball in between the centre halves and the goalkeeper, but no striker quite there to tap it home.
Yeah, Luke Armstrong was it? That was the intended target, but it's a lovely play, and it's like you said, a brilliant little through ball there by the skipper Falkingham. He finds a lovely run forward as well from Fallowfield, who wasn't tracked. It's poor defending from Luton, and that ball across. Yeah, I don't think Armstrong had any chance. He just had a little delay there, Fallowfield, didn't he, before he put the ball in. Maybe should have cut it back because he had a teammate who was just arriving inside the box, but you can't really say he's done anything wrong there in trying to find a teammate.
Yeah, it's a good position to try and play the ball into, as that commentator's old saying, the corridor of uncertainty. It's exactly where it was, but the Harrogate strikers were also uncertain that the ball was going to get there, so didn't gamble. We're therefore a few steps behind. Ball now back in the hands of Mark Oxley, and after that little Luton spell, Harrogate fighting their way back into this one. Ball down the right-hand side. It's for Harrogate, that is. It's won by Luton, picked up down the left by Bell, who clips it along down the line in towards Adebayo, who's not able to win the first one. Picked up then by Mendes Gomez. Turns quickly down that left-hand side. Tackle comes in from Thompson. Referee says free kick. And the protests come from the Harrogate players. It was a little clumsy coming from behind, really.
It was. You still don't really get away with those, even at this sort of level, or the two teams. It's just clumsy there from Thompson coming in through the back of him, giving away again a free kick. That's not really in a dangerous position.
It's not, but with Luton's height, they could work something. Although they play it short, and the ball comes back into Sonny Bradley. Naismith goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, Shea, who will bring the ball out from his own box, and he's looking like he's going to go long towards Cameron Jerome or Adebayo here. Goes to the striker, Cameron Jerome, flicked on by him. Can it be taken down? It is by Adebayo. Turns, shoots, strikes a goal! What a finish from Elijah Adebayo. That was electric.
That was a brilliant finish. I mean, that was just instant, wasn't it? The control, the turn, and the hit there with the right foot. It's a brilliant strike, and I mean, you have to feel really for the Harrogate goalkeeper there, and Mark Oxley. There's nothing that he could have done, but that's the quality that they do have, that little bit extra up front, and yeah, he knows how to finish, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he's got 10 goals in the league this season and has now picked up this FA Cup goal as well. He's absolutely delighted with that, and you can see the plan, and it certainly worked. Jerome into Adebayo, just controls it, spins and fires it between the legs of the defender. I think it's Sharon who's the closest man to him, but it's just lethal. He doesn't need to look where the goal is, he just knows as soon as he turns, and he hits it. Yeah,
he hits it, and he hits it purely as well. Again, I mean, they said the keeper would have had no chance even if the defender wasn't in the way, but the fact it went through the legs of the defender as well has just made it so much harder. He's unsighted as Oxley, but it's a brilliant hit and it's a brilliant finish.
Absolutely. A strong challenge then comes in from skipper for Harrogate, Falkingham, and an advantage, but that was taken away, and a free kick was given to Luton. And now Harrogate can break down the left-hand side. There's a good ball in behind from Armstrong into Muldoon. Just holds it up, goes left, goes right, just missed, controls his ball, then goes to the left. It comes back in towards Muldoon, actually. Attack still live. Page looking for a cross here. That's really poor. Just comes off the Luton man, and eventually that attack comes to nothing. It was a brilliant chance, but the miscontrol just completely wiped the momentum.
Yeah, it was miscontrol. I mean, it was good to start with cutting back onto the right foot, but then just had to play it into the area. Had two players up in support, but then tried to cut back and go down the line again. The ball wasn't good enough, and then that's a couple of times Lewis Page has had an opportunity to put a cross in, one from a corner, one from the left there, and just not good enough end product.
Absolutely, Falkingham just caught in another foul there with Mendes Gomez, but still Harrogate fighting as Falkingham gets the ball again, and eventually it's turned back into defence there from Lloyd Kelly, and a ball down the right looking for Thompson down that right, but the ball was always going out of play. So opening goal of the game was 19th minute. Elijah Adebayo, one of the star men on the field, not only for Nathan Jones' side, but across the two teams. He's probably the star man, isn't he, of the 22 on the field. He's the top scorer. So he flicks it on back heel this time, down the left-hand side into Cameron Jerome. Tries to drive inside of Sharon, but it's a good tackle away, but it only falls at the feet of Mendes Gomez. Opens up his body. That's a poor ball forward, and now Harrogate can break through the middle. Looking for Armstrong maybe forward. It's a ball down the right-hand side into the channel. He's driving away from goal, though, thanks to the defender that's on his back. He turns one way, then the other, and the tackle comes in there from Naismith. But Harrogate have reacted well to going down, you have to say.
They have. It's maybe just sparked them into life a bit, because they had a bright start to the game, then sort of sat back a bit, invited a bit of pressure, were on the back foot, conceded the goal, but it's maybe just kick-started them.
Thompson looking for a ball down the right once again. 21 minutes played as it eventually all the way comes back to Rory McArdle. Just took three chances there to decide whether he was playing it back to his goalkeeper. Did in the end, and it's knocked right into the skies and headed forward by Sonny Bradley. Elijah Adebayo was well offside there, so Harrogate just fire that one long with no pressure on them. It's fed down the left once again for Luton. Jerome asking for a foul. He was being wrestled a little bit by Rory McArdle there, but I don't know whether he was going to get onto the end of the ball anyway, because the goalkeeper was coming out.
No, I think it was fair enough. It was on that line, wasn't it? Potentially being a foul, but I think Jerome, he's more than up to the challenge of a physical battle, I think.
Bell gives the ball away at the back for Luton. It's fallen into the feet of Thompson, shifts it on his right foot, strikes at goal, but that one's down the throat of the goalkeeper. A little bit of frustration shown on the arms there of Ryan Fallowfield, who threw his arms into the skies, thought he should have been played on the overlap.
Yeah, not bad though. I think it just opened up ever so slightly. It was going to take something special, I think, to beat the keeper there. He had to go more across him. He went for the near post and for a bit of power, but at least it's a shot on target.
Forcing the goalkeeper into action, but not quite able to do on this occasion, as the ball hits the tiles of Kenilworth Road, as Diarra has a shot from distance and pretty much curls it in every single wrong way that he could have done, both wide and high. We are halfway through the first half, actually, and a good chance to pass over to James for the rest of the half.
I think that went out of the stadium, actually. out of Kenilworth Road. I think it hit the top, but had a bit of topspin, so went out, which I think is why he's taken a bit of time to get another ball and get this play back underway, which it still isn't underway. Eventually, the goalkeeper does take this goal, kick long at field over halfway, and it bounces down in. Oh, I tell you what, it's just about dealt with at the back, but Luton, they're going to let it roll out for a throw on this left-hand side. But the two sort of centre-halves at the moment for Harrogate aren't looking the most assured, I'd say.
Yeah, no, McArdle it was on that occasion, allowed the ball to bounce and almost didn't reach it on the slide, did he? I don't think they're necessarily their first two centre-half options. I feel that the likes of Hall and Warren, I've forgotten his name now. The two centre-halves on the bench. Burrell, that's the one. Warren Burrell is the man alongside Hall on the bench. Those are often their two first-choice centre-halves and have been as of late, but yeah, they're not looking comfortable at the back.
They're not, no. I even had to read my own handwriting there. I couldn't work out. Burrell was one of the four subs that Harrogate have available to them as a free kick goes against Harrogate here, and there wasn't much on that one. It was the skipper Falkingham against the number 14 Mendes Gomez, and the manager clearly wasn't happy on the sidelines, but free kick is given to Luton midway through their own half, which Sonny Bradley will well, eventually take. It's just slowed down ever so slightly. What have been a pretty good pace and tempo to the game. Plays a long ball downfield there. It's allowed to bounce in the area, and trying to usher this one behind there is Lewis Page, and it's been hooked behind actually by a Luton player, so it will just be a goal kick. But they're not very comfortable, it seems, the Harrogate defence, with clearing the ball first time.
Yeah, whether it's winning that header first time or playing it with the boot when they're not under pressure, it's asking for a little bit of trouble, and that's exactly where the goal came from, wasn't it? Cameron Jerome with the flick on it. It's a clear tactic that Luton have probably isolated and looked at in terms of the Harrogate defence and thought we're going to exploit it.
Yeah, indeed. Just seen a few shots of the fans in the crowd. Obviously good to see fans in the stadiums and being able to experience the FA Cup as well. Plenty of shocks yesterday. Three of the teams that were in the bottom four in the Premier League all going out. Not just yesterday, but Watford lost to Leicester, didn't they? Newcastle and Burnley both going out as well. Norwich have got Charlton today, which could be another potential sort of upset when you look at things. And interesting to see if Harrogate can get themselves back into this game. They haven't shown many signs of creating clear-cut opportunities, but they've got him behind on a couple of occasions. End product hasn't been great, but now it is with Fallowfield down that right, puts a ball into the box, and he flashes it across a 6-yard area. It's high in the air. Keeper comes off his line to try and sort of flap it away. He doesn't get anything on it, but it's out towards his far left-hand side now, and Harrogate will try and come forward again with a throw. But Luke Armstrong, he's almost got on the end of things.
Yeah, he's not quite been at that time. The ball was slightly over his head, but he attacks the front post, which is good. That's what you want to see from your number 9, isn't it? But the ball goes over his head, and the goalkeeper has to make sure that no one's coming in behind him, and that probably made it look a little bit more dangerous than it was.
Forward again, though, Harrogate. Armstrong plays it out to Fallowfield down this right-hand side, gets it back now into the penalty area, puts a low ball towards a near post, and it goes, well, through the legs of one player, then it cannons off the legs of another. Eventually, Luton managed to clear their lines and out for a throw on this right side, but neither defence have looked convincing.
No, they haven't, but I like the work that Harrogate are doing down this right-hand side. It's not the first time they played a 1-2, is it? Muldoon seems to be the man that drops off, and Fallowfield and Falkingham work in and around it. It's a good little triangle they've got on that side. They just haven't found that final ball yet.
No, they haven't, but yeah, Fallowfield probably had at least 5-6 crossing opportunities, I think, into the box, and probably half of them have been pretty good, just not quite on the money so far. Luton do have themselves a throw deep inside their own defensive third, so Harrogate may try and put a bit of a squeeze on them. It's launched down the line, it's flicked on by Adebayo, and then Luton then try and clear it further down the line, looking for Jerome, but he slips over. Wasn't going to get near it anyway, as McArdle plays it back towards his goalkeeper Oxley, who is under no real rush. Eventually just plays a long ball downfield there, looking towards the edge of the penalty area. It goes, it's nodded down there, still not quite cleared. It's going to be Rhys Burke who manages to spin the ball away on the turn. Out towards the left side though, as Harrogate pick it back up. It's Page inside now towards Kerry, back out towards that left-hand side. Page again tries to go down the line. He's held up. They're just keeping hold of possession at the moment. It's probably what they need, Harrogate, but you say just a sustained bit of possession, but it's hard on this pitch because it is a bit bobbly at times at Kenilworth Road. Yeah,
it's difficult when they're playing that quick passing along the ground. It's difficult to make sure you keep control, but they've done well so far in these last couple of minutes, and you never know that they could get a goal after this one.
Coming forward again, though, Fallowfield on the right edge of the box tries to put a cross in, deflects back to him, has a second bite of the cherry, then he just lifts it towards the near post where it's straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Again, just not quite getting that end product right.
Yeah, he had a couple of bites at it. Once again, did Fallowfield first cross hit the man and hit the defensive man. I feel as if that cross went in, they had 2 strikers both going to that front post, didn't they? That could have been the opportunity, but a good block from Bell, who was just dropping back there. And by the time the second cross came in, they were right on that line of offside, and the goalkeeper was at that near post where the ball came in. It would have been difficult to stay onside and win the ball.
Yeah, there's a bit of head tennis between the two sides now, up towards halfway, and it's brought down really, really well by Adebayo. Now out to the left-hand side where they're trying to come forward, and it is with Gomez. He rides a challenge from Fallowfield, still coming forward now towards the byline, faced up against the defender, puts a cross in though high towards the far post, and well, that is dreadful. That's way too much on that one behind for a goal kick, but again, that's better from Luton down that left-hand side again.
Yeah, and Adebayo was the creator once again, wasn't he? Just playing the ball into Mendes Gomez down that left-hand side, who was able to flick it over the defender. I don't mind the idea of cussing inside and hitting it first time, quite pacey towards the far post. He just hit it too high and too wide, didn't he? And it never really invited neither the goalkeeper to have to make a save or a striker to try and head the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest delivery into the box, but See, the sun is still having quite an impact, even on the subs and the managers watching from the sidelines. I mean, both keepers actually look as if they're in the shade, so it's actually not too bad for them.
Yeah, fortunately for the goalkeepers, it looks that way. But yeah, certainly the 4 men on the bench for Harrogate are having a tough time watching on.
Yeah, it's going to be Luton, though, that do well to battle and win the ball back midway through their own half. Then a ball played down that left side, and it's dealt with easily there. McCardle allows it to bounce all the way towards his goalkeeper Oxley, and then they'll try and go again. It's with Nathan Sherrin on the edge of his own penalty area. Plays a long right-footed ball downfield. It's a looping one. Armstrong gets his head to it and flicks it on, but then it's nodded away again. Then it's completed the clearance by Bradley. The ball is dropped down towards a Harrogate player, though, out towards the right-hand side. It's played well by Diarra, out towards Thompson. Thompson then faced up there, one-on-one, onto his left foot, delivers one towards the middle of the box, and the keeper comes out trying to claim that one, and it's dropped, and the referee saying there's no free kick there, but Luton managed to clear their lines. Harrogate have it back inside their own half as they go towards, well, eventually go towards their goalkeeper. But I like the fact the referee didn't give any free kick there.
Yeah, old school FA Cup action. A striker battling in with a goalkeeper and no foul being given. It's nice to see, isn't it? A little bit refreshing, but it was good. And a better ball this time from the right-hand side, and the goalkeeper was struggling to get there. The ball from Thompson after cutting inside on that right-hand side. They had 2 men going for it. Diarra was the more likely, but once again, it was just over the head of Armstrong, who's probably the man you want on it. Yeah,
he's the target man they're looking for, but nice play by Thompson. Little step over, completely does Amari Bell, and is allowed to sort of float it in. Nearly getting on of it there was Brahima Diarra, but it is with Harrogate now, who were just growing in confidence, actually, in this game. 31 minutes gone, Luton 1, Harrogate 0. It's back now with Sherrin out towards his centre-back partner, McCardle. Now picked up by Falkingham just on halfway, feeds it down the line to Fallowfield, and then he plays a little ball inside looking for the return pass, and that's good play by Diarra, twisting and turning, gets himself towards the edge of the D. Now he plays it back down the right hand side. Thompson low ball in towards the near post, is cleared behind, and a corner kick.
Brilliant from Diarra, the man from Huddersfield Town. Brilliant work from him, the youngster. He just turns quickly, doesn't he? And just cuts out 3 of the Luton men who were all that were closing in on him, and then the third with Naismith. He just could have played that ball earlier. There was 2 options, couldn't he? He just kept driving himself. They eventually got a good crossing from the right-hand side, but the attack almost ended as soon as he didn't play the pass.
Yeah, I thought it was open for him to hitting it with his left foot, but maybe he's not strong with the left foot. Not that in tune with Brahima Diarra, I have to say, but this corner comes in towards the near post. It's flicked away, only towards the edge of the D, though. Picked back up by a blue shirt. Out towards that corner kick taken now in Page. Page onto his left foot, delivers one towards the far post. It's punched away by the goalkeeper, only as far as the edge of the box where Kerry picks it up. Now it's inside towards Fallowfield. He shapes for a shot, and then he's eventually brought down, so it will be a free kick there. It was a very delayed, and a yellow card comes out there for Henry Lansbury. That is, I think that's a little bit harsh. He does dive in, but he barely makes contact.
Yeah, I feel like we've not seen much of Lansbury in this game, which would mean that this one is the only challenge that he's made that's worthy of a yellow, because he's not picked him up for persistent fouling or anything like that. And as you say, yes, he slides in, he gambles that he's going to win the ball, and it's one of those, he sells him, doesn't he? The dummy does, Fallowfield, and does well to flick it past him.
He kind of slides in, but then it's like he's bringing his legs up, sort of like into a ball to try and stop him from making contact with the studs or anything like that. I mean, I think it's a little bit harsh, but is a good free kick opportunity now. It's in shooting distance. Thompson's standing over it. Kerry's sort of a one-man wall. Lays it off to Thompson. Right for the strike comes in, and it just goes past that left post. And, well, the rebound's in, but it had already gone behind and hit the hoarding, so it won't count. It's just a goal kick. But that just seems so easy, what they were going to do there, and Luton were not really aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, Kerry's the man stood over the free kick and just flicks it to the side, doesn't he? He's got his back to goal, so it's obvious that he's going to pass it. I don't quite understand why Thompson just can't hit that straight away, but I suppose he wants the wall to move, does Kerry, by making the flick. He thought it should have been a corner kick as well. He thought there was a little bit of a deflection, but it was a good strike. Harrogate are on top. That felt like a moment where they kind of needed to get a goal, because I feel like Luton have almost weathered the storm now of not conceding in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, and again, Luton, just seeing they don't need many opportunities, do they, to get themselves in the lead, which they have done. And it was a lovely goal from Adebayo, but it was just a simple flick on, but then a lovely finish on the turn on the edge of the box. That's Bree, James Bree, who's just found the referee's attention there, but it's just a free kick on the halfway line. And again, there wasn't much. I mean, the Harrogate player was already falling down for me.
Yeah, there was just a lot of pressure on him. It wasn't necessarily contact, was it? And he just goes down because I think he miscued his pass and it wasn't going to where he wanted.
Yeah, now coming forward again, though, Harrogate. It's on this right-hand side. Ball played down the line to Diarra. Diarra tries to put a first-time cross in, deflected away. Diarra picks it back up, though. That's good. Strong physical play by him. Down the line to Fallowfield. Now it's in towards the skipper. Falkingham tries to thread a through ball, looking for the run of Fallowfield, but it's been blocked away. But they have it back now with Diarra down that right side. Ball is pinged towards him. It falls back towards Falkingham. He then tries to put it across from deep, and that's deflected off Amari Bell and out for a throw on this right-hand side. They're just... the higher up the pitch, like they were at the start now, Harrogate, they're just pressing Luton and forcing them into giving away possession.
Yeah, they are doing this scrambling at the back, aren't they, Luton? When they get the ball, they just seem to clear it down the line, and it keeps getting won by a blue shirt. And it's refreshing to see Harrogate on the front foot, isn't it? Given that they're the team on the goal behind.
Yeah, goal behind indeed. Harrogate, but they're pushing to try and get the equaliser. Got 10 minutes plus any stoppage time to go. Probably going to be the obligatory minute with the goal that we've had, but there's not really been many stoppages. It's been a free-flowing game, to say. Throwing down the line as Luton managed to wrestle possession back their way, and that's good, strong play by Adebayo there. Holds off his marker well, plays it back towards his centre-half then in Cal Naismith. And now Luton have it on that far right-hand side of the field. It's played across now towards Naismith once more. Now it's with Bradley, the skipper, up over halfway, where he finds the ball towards the recently booked Lansbury. I did have a story told about me, actually, on the golf course of Henry Lansbury this season, of when he just completely lost it at one point, and just basically the play had stopped, and then he just went and took a wild swipe at an opposition player and booted him to the floor. And I think he only got a yellow card for it, from what I can remember.
I feel as if that's coming to some sort of recognition, almost in a similar way, I imagine, to what Andy Robertson against Spurs, wasn't it, where he just booted the ball, and tried to boot the player and disguise it as booting the ball.
Yeah, but this was a strange, I think, of the fact as the play had stopped, they were waiting to take a free kick or something like that, and I think he just went and cleared the man out, which was a very strange decision from Henry Lansbury. But really, Lansbury is a player that's got good quality, played at Premier League level, just as Luton trying to create something down the right, just breaks down and goes behind for a goal kick. But yeah, Lansbury's certainly someone I thought would have been more involved in this game so far, and he's just doing that job of just holding the ball, doing the sort of quarterback role. Yeah,
I feel like Gomez, Adebayo and Jerome are all fighting for those forward positions, so it's almost leaving Clark and Lansbury in the middle, and they're being overrun in a way. I feel as if the Harrogate midfield, the three in midfield in Diarra, Kerry and Falkingham has been a little bit more energetic. They've been winning the ball a little bit more, and it's bypassed the midfield, really. They've just been knocking balls long, have Luton, whereas Harrogate have just gone round them on the right-hand side every time.
Yeah, a miscontrol there on the left-hand side for Adebayo. It will be thrown to Harrogate. You'd say, oh, well, just change it up then to the manager at the half-time, but 4 subs doesn't really give you much scope for doing anything.
No, it doesn't really, does it? Yeah, it's one of those, you can potentially change positions or tactics in the game, but in terms of personnel, when you've got 2 centre-halves and a goalkeeper and only 1 midfielder on the bench, it doesn't give you much, does it? But Harrogate have been doing all right, and if they keep it up till the break, they will hope that they can get a leveller.
Yeah, they're coming forward again, though, I think that's Lewis Page. Is he going to get a free kick? That was just going to be a throw. He was half appealing for one, I think, when he maybe thought he was just caught from behind there by Jerome, just leaned into him ever so slightly. The ball was eventually cleared away, but is it? Well, I think it's going to be a throw. There is a player down in the box at the moment for Harrogate, so they will not want to see an injury. But it was when they're trying to get on the end of Lewis Page's little dinked ball forward. It's the number 18 there, and Jack Muldoon. Is he just holding his cheek? Is he saying that he's been maybe caught? Let's have a look here. Or he kind of just runs into the shoulder of the Luton defender. Yeah,
the defender comes across, and as you say, it was the shoulder just connecting with the jaw, completely accidental.
Yeah, accidental, but Harrogate now have the ball from the throw, and it's worked infield. Now it's with Fallowfield in an inside position from his right-back spot. As it again, Fallowfield plays it back towards his skipper in Falkingham. Further in towards his left, it's Neat work by Harrogate at the moment. Back out to Falkingham on this right side. He plays it infield. Now to Fallowfield. Lovely ball into the penalty area. Tries to play it across the face of goal, but the keeper smothers it at his near post and holds on to it.
They've been brilliant down this right, Harrogate. Once again, just quick one-touch passing work, and Fallowfield just gambles past Bell, doesn't he? And I think that Thompson, given the fact that Fallowfield has been going down the right so often, knows he just got to play it and trust Fallowfield that he's going to get there, and he does. He holds him off really well. He was strong, but once again, the ball is just straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it's not really looking for a target, it seems, Fallowfield. He's just looking to put it in an area. It's just the percentage ball. It's put it towards the near post, and there might be a 60% chance someone will get on the end of it, where I think he just needs to lift his head up sometimes and pick out a target.
Yeah, and that's the criticism of him. You could potentially say there's a little criticism of Armstrong, that he's not beaten or got in front of his man once yet. He's always been trying to get there, but been a split second late. So it's that balance, isn't it? You've got to just match it up one time and you'll get a goal.
Luton coming forward on the halfway line. Just one attempt Luton have had, but one on target and one goal. That's all you need to know. 3 attempts for Harrogate, 1 on target, but that was a shot from George Thompson, wasn't it, where it was the edge of the box. It was an easy save by the keeper. So they've had 3 attempts, but they've not been clear-cut opportunities for them. Are we going to get a corner for Luton down this right-hand side? We are indeed. So set-piece chance for them as we tick into the final 5 minutes of regular time in this first half. It will be the number 4 and Cal Naismith to take it. Never usually see a centre-half taking a corner, but left-footed, in-swinging deliveries. A decent-looking one towards the far post. It's headed away. It'll be picked back up by Lansbury on the edge of the box. Now he cuts onto his left foot and finds Jerome inside the area. He tries to get room for a shot, but that's a good foot that comes in. Now Harrogate try and clear their lines, and they play it down that right-hand side for Diarra. Great first touch by him, and now he's running forward, and he's having a little charge at Amari Bell. He goes inside and past him. Still going forward as Diarra towards the edge of the D. Oh. And then I think he's stuck between a shot or a pass, and it's a horrible one which just goes straight to the keeper.
He had that other chance on his left foot and he didn't shoot. It was a brilliant one, and this time the shot wasn't really the best option, was it?
I think he's trying to pass that.
Yeah,
but he just gets it horribly wrong.
Yeah, too much on it, wasn't it? Far too much on it.
For me, it just looks like he's trying to just feed it into the path of Armstrong into the box, and he just takes his eye off it, and then he just boots it ahead of him as coming forward now at Luton, and the little reverse ball into the box, and it nearly breaks down. It does break, actually. Opportunity now for the ball to come in there. It's with Clark. Chips it towards the far post. Harrogate managed to head the ball away, but it's back out towards his left-hand side now where Bell has it. Bell then jinks one way and another, but he's going to get past Fallowfield, and then Luton just forced to go back towards the halfway line. Well, they'll start again with the keeper hold of possession, then Lansbury's just brought down there. The foot is left in from Lloyd Carey. I think they're just trying to get at Henry Lansbury now, actually, with the fact he's yellow carded, and maybe just force him into a mistake. Is there a penalty there? No, says the referee straight away. And to be honest, Jordan Clark got up pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did. He was on that right-hand side, cut inside, but as you say, it was just a strong challenge from Falkingham, really. Just a strong shoulder. Didn't quite know that it was coming, Clark, and it was therefore, it was a bit off balance and just got knocked down. It wasn't a foul for me either, but Diarra has been brilliant so far. A
really good runner with the ball. Just needs to concentrate on that final pass. I was just in the middle of saying it, and as that happens, he just toe pokes it ahead of him, but Armstrong goes the other way, and it's towards the goalkeeper again. I suppose he's a young, raw talent, is he, Diarra? So still plenty of improvement in him. But that is an area that needs to improve.
Yeah, it's unusual, isn't it? He doesn't look quick, but when he's on the ball, his agility in terms of turning one way, then the other, and jinking one way and selling a defender has been brilliant so far. And when he drives past, he looks a little bit under pressure every time he makes that pass, and therefore it doesn't work.
Kind of just glides across the surface. Yeah. I do love players who do that. They seem to make up ground so easily as Luton play a ball into the penalty area towards the far post. It's headed into the path, though. Jerome. Oh, he tries a sort of an acrobatic effort there and almost trips over himself.
Yeah, maybe in your days at Birmingham City in the Premier League, but not quite today. Yeah, it was acrobatic. It was not a bad option. It's difficult to swivel with one foot on the ground there and to hit it. So he's lifted both feet and gone to hit it, and he's just scuffed it into the ground. I mean, if you're doing that in training, fair enough, and you never know, he might be.
Good chance that, though.
It is a good chance.
At it again, he's just completely fluffed his execution there, I have to say, for Jerome. Yeah, like you said, maybe back in Birmingham days, maybe back in Stoke City days.
Yeah,
possibly. He's never been the most prolific, has he, Cameron Jerome?
No, he's always been a brilliant athlete, and he can run in behind and bully a defender. But in terms of that goal scoring finish, he's not a natural goal scorer.
No, he's kind of like Shane Long's a good runner, isn't he? But never being that person who's going to score you 20+ goals a season. As down the left-hand side, Luton come now. It is with Jerome, but he's just been easily beaten to the ball, and it's cleared down this side up towards halfway. It's flicked infield then by Bradley in towards his teammate Naismith, and Luton have the ball back. Minute to go, plus any added time, which I think there's probably just going to be a minute of, but there's barely been any stoppages in this game, I have to say. Out towards the right-hand side now, into the path then of Clark. Clark then turns, feeds it inside towards Bree. Back to Clark, down the line to Bree again, those two combining well. Then Bree puts a low ball into the box. It's half sort of flicked away with the heel of the Harrogate defender then in Sharon. Back out towards that right-hand side, though, where Luton will come again, and that's a dreadful attempted ball in, scuffed across the floor. Now Diarra has it back, and they'll look to come forward, Harrogate. That's a slide challenge that comes in from Bree, which the referee says is fine. Page is still down on the floor, clutching his left knee, but seemed like a fair challenge to me. The referee is going to stop play and go over and see if Page is okay. Just see this again. I mean, the referee did have his hand over his eyes there, trying to see basically the sun was in the way. It seemed like it was fine for me.
Yeah, Bree was certainly the quicker. He's getting to the ball quicker and obviously slides in because the Harrogate man is in front of him. Page looks okay to me. Now he slides in, he wins the ball. I can see where they're coming from because he's almost gone to tackle with his feet pointed behind himself and then slid into Page, but I thought he won the ball myself.
I agree, and referee agreed, and he's back on his feet now anyway. 3 minutes of added time has gone up on the board, which we're nearly 30 seconds into now, as Luton have the ball back on the halfway line. It is with Naismith towards Bradley now. Brings it out towards his left-hand side where he finds Bell. Bell then in towards the path of Adebayo. First time layoff now towards Mendes, but he has a little bit of miscontrol, and Harrogate have it back now, and Diarra finds a nice ball inside. Now it's back out to this near right flank where it is with Thompson. Goes back towards Fallowfield. He just launches one down the line looking for Armstrong. It's an easy head away though, but it's back with Thompson on the halfway line as the blue shirts have reclaimed possession. That's poor from Falkingham though, a misplaced pass by him, one of the rare ones in this first half from him, and that's a lovely little ball there by, I think it is the 14, Mendes Gomez, now out towards the left corner of the box where it's picked up by Adebayo after having a little slip over as well. Adebayo then, is wiped out. Lovely, lovely bit of footwork there by Adebayo, and Fallowfield knows it. He says, well, what can I do? He just flicks it in between two Harrogate players and is wiped out.
Yeah, he knows he's going to get fouled, and still he keeps his foot in there, doesn't he? And just flicks it between the legs of the defender. Just see a replay here. There's Kerry close, and yeah, he just flies in, doesn't he, Fallowfield? He wags his finger, but surely he knows it's a foul.
I mean, they do, don't they? I mean, everything they can't believe at footballers, can they, when something goes against them? It's like, how is it the decision that way? I bet when they look back at some of them, majority will be like, okay, I made an error. Whereas some of them will be like, no, I still don't believe it. But what can Luton do? This would be a real killer blow if they could get a second right on the stroke of half-time. Free kick comes in, right-footed with pace. Doesn't beat the one-man wall, though. It's headed up into the air. Still not cleared, though. It's up towards that far post, and it's going to be brought out. It's going to be ran out of play, and eventually it's just cleared up field by Jack Muldoon. It'll be picked back up by Bell just over halfway, though. Less than a minute of 3 added on to go. A cross-field ball now into the box is headed behind by Naismith, and it will be a goal kick. But what a chance and what a disappointment from that free kick delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. Just struck straight into the one-man wall, as you said, and to not beat a one-man wall from that position, it must be devastating for the players that are in the box that have come up from the back. But on the stroke of half-time, I have to say Harrogate have applied themselves well, considering their problems with COVID and injuries and 4 men on the bench. They've done really well. They've just not found Armstrong up front, and I would hazard a guess that Armstrong has probably touched the ball less than any other player in this first half, as opposed to Adebayo, who got the ball once on the edge of the box and hit the back of the net. Yeah,
no, I'd agree. I think Armstrong, just hasn't really been involved enough in the first half, unfortunately, but just maybe hasn't had the service as well. But Harrogate have applied themselves well, like you said, but how much can they keep these fitness and energy levels going up with just 4 subs, where Luton have a full complement for them that they can try and mix things up now, as we've had the 3 minutes of added time, as Luton are coming forward down the right-hand side. Referee still not yet looking at his watch, and now eventually does look at his watch, and he blows for half-time. So right at the break at Kenilworth Road, it is Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0.
Half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. A brilliant goal from Elijah Adebayo on the 19th minute. A long ball forward, flicked on by Cameron Jerome. Adebayo controlled it on the edge of the box and with his second touch, fired it into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. That's only really been the only matter of quality in the first half. Harrogate have been brilliant, battling down the right-hand side, capitalising on Luton. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. Capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month, but at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month. But at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month. But at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute, flick on from Cameron Jerome, controlled it on the edge of the box, and with his second touch, fired it low into the bottom left-hand corner through the defender's legs. Harrogate Town have applied themselves well, capitalising on the fact that Luton haven't played in a month. But at the break, it's the team in the Championship who lead. Luton Town 1, Harrogate 0. At half-time at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 0. Elijah Adebayo with what was really the only moment of quality in the first half. On the 19th minute. We'll leave that there once again. It's a warm welcome along to this independent off-tube studio commentary of second half coverage of Luton Town against Harrogate Town in the FA Cup. It's currently Luton 1, Harrogate 0. A brilliant turn and finish on the edge of the Harrogate box by Elijah Adebayo, who thumped one into the bottom left-hand corner. But Harrogate were bright in that first half and played a lot of good football up until that final cross, which just couldn't seem to hit one of the men in the middle. It's myself, Matt Guy, and James Mason alongside me. Hopefully some more attacking play in the second half.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it was a decent watch, wasn't it, in that first half, without many sort of goal-scoring opportunities, but it was almost, wasn't it, for Harrogate? It was 90% there, and then, like you said, when they got into that moment when they had to put the crucial ball in, the end product wasn't good enough. Fallowfield had a lot of opportunities. He had a couple of decent crosses in, couldn't find Luke Armstrong. Lewis Page, the other side, his delivery was poor, so they just need to try and just up their standards a little bit and give Luke Armstrong something to try and get on the end of.
Absolutely, and maybe a chance from the early moments of this second half. We've got an in-swinging corner now, right-footed towards the front post. Luton head strongly onto that one, knocks it wide. It will be Thompson to pick up the ball once again after that corner. Back to Diarra, who impressed in the first half, but that cross was less than impressive. Weaker left foot, slices it, lands on the roof of the net.
He doesn't look that confident sometimes with his crossing or his, just the final ball. He's just trying to float it. He's trying to cut across that one, isn't he? And it just gets it horribly wrong off the end of the toe. Nearly catches the goalkeeper out and somehow turns into a goal, but on the roof of the net. And yeah, I maybe would have liked Diarra just to have a go there, just run at the defence, because he's got the pace and the ability.
Yeah, he had some brilliant runs through the middle of midfield, didn't he? Turning one way, then the other, selling some defenders. But not quite able to find the right pass or shot at the end of it. He had one opportunity where it opened for a shot and he didn't really do anything. He had another opportunity where he almost looked to cut a reverse ball back to Armstrong, but got it all wrong. And the ball just dribbled through to the goalkeeper as Bree launches a long throw in down the right-hand side for Luton. Ball comes back to him, he fires it down the line again as eventually it's knocked up towards Armstrong, who can't win the ball in the air. It's turned out to the left-hand side there by Sonny Bradley into Amari Bell. Looking to maybe go down the line, but is held off well there by Thompson. Searching ball now from Lansbury forward up towards Adebayo, nudge in the back of McArdle, and a free kick then on the edge of the box. The two team lineups then are unchanged from the first half. It's Luton as follows: Shea, Bree, Burke, Naismith, Bradley, Bell, Lansbury, Clark, Gomez, Jerome and Adebayo. So we break off for a moment as Armstrong just tried to win a header on the edge of the Luton box. Harrogate then: Oxley, Fallowfield, Sherrin, McArdle, Page, Thompson, Falkingham, Kerry, Diarra, Muldoon and Armstrong. 48 minutes gone in this game. Surely will be a nervous one for the home fans should the scoreline stay as it is, but Jerome flicks it on well to Adebayo down the left-footed striker. Goal! Just about dribbles that one across the face of goal and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good play though. Again, it's quite simple from Luton, isn't it? It's 1-2 into the third man, and then that's it. It's just a little flick on it to give and go. He just couldn't quite get that one there, Adebayo there. Brilliant finish in the first half, but just dragged it, trying to go across the goalkeeper, which is the right thing to do, but just too much on that.
Yeah, if we saw it from a reverse angle, I would have thought that the goalkeeper would have probably had the angle covered off there. He did well to make sure he didn't touch it, but allowed it to go across the face of goal as Armstrong wins a header, but it just comes towards Bree, who allows his goalkeeper to come across. And he does just about. I didn't see enough shots from Luton in the first half. Just a snapshot that hit the back of the net, and this one are only the really notable shots in this game for Luton.
Yeah, they're it, I think. Remember, it was one shot, one on target, one goal for Luton in that first half. Harrogate actually had more shots than them, but just not in good scoring opportunities. But you know, you got to be clinical in these sort of competitions when you get the chances.
Yeah, Jerome had a rash little acrobatic effort, didn't he? But he didn't quite catch it whatsoever. But that was the only other one I can remember in the first half, as Luton finding their way in the box once again. It's a quick turn by Mendes Gomez, strikes it across the face of goal. Will it dribble in? It will. It's Cameron Jerome who's tapped it in on the line. It was shot straight at the goalkeeper. It's bounced off his arm, dribbled towards the line, and Cameron Jerome, the experienced striker, made sure it hit the back of the net. Luton 2.
Yeah, very good play though there from Luton in the build-up, and they've just been on it, haven't they, in the second half? But Mendes Gomez, it was all about him really. It was a lovely little spin from in the penalty area. Far too easy, I have to say, to get away from Nathan Sheron there. But when the shot came in, it's not a bad stop at the near post, but the keeper then needs the support of his defenders there, of his team, to try and clear that ball away. It's unfortunate because he saves it, does Oxley. It hits off his own teammate, then a McArdle who's running back towards the goal line, which then just pops it straight into the path of Cameron Jerome, who's actually slid, got back on his feet, and from a yard out, popped it in.
Yeah, we just see it from this angle. I think it's a cross or maybe a shot towards the far post. And the goalkeeper, it's the fact that he's reaching out for it as opposed to having his body behind it, which means there's a gap between the body and the arm, isn't there? And that's where the ball squeezes through and Jerome can just tap that one home. But that is a big, big goal in this game. That will be disheartening for Harrogate.
Yeah, I mean, we said, didn't we, just before we came back on, it was like if Luton can get themselves an early goal in the second half, it would just completely wipe away any spirit you think Harrogate would have. You know, they would have come out refreshed, renewed, managers, you know, words in their ears, thinking, right, let's have a go at them, you know, let's try and get back on level terms, and haven't been able to. Armstrong
here with a chance from distance. He strikes it towards goal. It just goes wide of the right-hand side post. The goalkeeper came flying well outside of his box. It was touched on by Diarra. I think Armstrong has taken a nasty whack after that one. Looks like he's having a grimace on his face from that. It was just a throw-in that Lansbury completely miscontrols. He has to slide in to recover. Diarra's there as well. And he just misses the target and gets wiped out by the goalkeeper.
He does. I mean, that's a chance again. You've got to be clinical when the opportunities come your way, and Armstrong wasn't his first real sighted goal in this game so far, but some little question marks there over James Shea for me, because I don't think Armstrong is really going to have the pace to run straight through on goal. I think he's probably going to be caught, so the keeper's just got to... He's got to read the situation, just probably backtrack into his own penalty area there, really. Yeah,
absolutely, and it looks like an enforced change here for Harrogate as well. We were discussing in the first half how they only had 4 men on the bench today that they could bring on, so no real attacking options, bar a midfielder who's only played once for Harrogate in terms of trying to get them back into this game. But it looks as though Fallowfield, who's one of the brighter players in the first half, has had to come off for Warren Burrell, who's by nature a centre-half, who's now going to have to play right-back.
It's a blow. It's whether they can maybe try and change things up. I'm not too sure. Go 3 at the back, but they'll probably just keep it as simple as they can. But yeah, they're not going to have probably that same attacking outlet down that right-hand side. Fallowfield was really good. You know, the give and goes. He was making those darting runs. He was getting in positions, getting in behind to put crosses in. Yes, the end product wasn't there, but at least he was getting into those areas. You worry if Warren Burrell is going to have that same sort of promise and opportunity down that flank.
Yeah, you just think maybe more work needed to be done now by George Thompson and, of course, skipper Falkingham, who was going over there to support. Maybe those are going to be the players that have to make the runs, and Burrell's just going to have to sort of slot into a defensive midfield role at times just to cover off anything. But, it's all hands on deck for the moment for Harrogate. And Luton, 2 goals to the good now. 1 goal from Elijah Adebayo and the second from Cameron Jerome, as Luton winning the second balls at the moment, as the ball's fired forward for Harrogate, will be picked up by the goalkeeper, who this time is right to come out of his box and just throws it to the left-hand side. But it's clear now that Luton have space inside their own box to drive forward, and although this pressure is coming from Harrogate here, they just seem a little bit more settled now, Luton.
Yeah, it's settled. It's yeah, that definitely the second goal. That little buffer they've got now, have been able to give it, if they concede one, then they're still ahead. It just gives you that confidence, doesn't it, as a player? And you just, you stroke the ball around a bit better. You maybe try a few extra things in the middle of the park that you may not have done before.
Jerome winning the ball on the right-hand side, tries to go down the line. It's intercepted by a Harrogate head, but he wins it again, does Jerome, and then gives it away again. It's Page. Goes back into McCardle, looking for a long one down the left-hand side up to Armstrong. Diarra's up there supporting as it drops back into the midfield. Now with Armstrong again, just lays things off into the midfield, into Kerry. Now with Falkingham, out to the right-hand side with Burrell. Wide he goes into Thompson, flicked inside quickly to Armstrong. That one's not accurate enough. It just goes all the way through to a Luton defender, and now they can drive forward themselves. A good ball forward here. Maybe it almost finds the way of Adebayo, and even the clearance almost did from McCardle. We spoke about the lack of assuredness from the defenders of the Harrogate side, but once again, it almost showed there from McCardle.
It did. I mean, it's difficult as well because in their own division, Harrogate, the defenders there are probably happy to control it. Maybe got a bit more time, or they feel more confident in just holding it than passing it out. Whereas here, they think, well, I don't just want to boot it downfield because we'll just give it away, but then I don't want to try and run out from the back. And it's a horrible little situation for the defenders because they don't really know if they're going for plan A or plan B.
Diarra trying to get on the ball and influence things, just gets a little bit of a nudge there. I think he was just a lot weaker than the defender there as Burrell wins it back. Diarra tries to flick it on, but once again it's won by Luton on the left-hand side. Lansbury trying to spread open the play now. Good long ball over to Adebayo. Initially miscontrols it, but picks it up on the right flank now, up against McCardle. Maybe looking to drive inside. Just cuts the ball back to the edge of the box. Controlled by Bree, miscontrolled by Bree, then won by Bree. Goes through to Adebayo, maybe a question of offside, puts the ball in. It's deflected away by Page. Questions for a handball. I think eventually a corner will be given. Yeah,
corner, and again, it's just exactly what Luton want. It's a bit of possession. If they can grab a third, then it definitely is game over at the start of this second half. Harrogate will be thinking if we could just stay into it and then maybe grab one late on and set up a grandstand finish. But as things stand, really, you can't really see Harrogate scoring 2 goals. That's the only thing.
Away from home as well, it's always tricky, isn't it? That long trip from North Yorkshire down to Luton, and all to ask for Harrogate with not too much in terms of provisions so far. As the corner comes in towards the far post, it's missed by Burrell. It goes all the way through. I think bounces all the way through, and everybody misses it. So it will just be a goal kick in the end. Jerome having a battle with Rory McCardle there. McCardle, who's had his fair few fights down the years with Premier League clubs, was of course in those cup runs for Bradford City, and they managed to beat both Arsenal and Chelsea, wasn't it? Chelsea away and Arsenal at home, if I remember correctly.
Result, was it 4-2 or something like that?
It was something crazy, wasn't it? McCardle in those defensive setups, but not going his way today, as Luton bringing the ball out from the back once again down the left-hand side with skipper Sonny Bradley. Left-footed ball, looking to switch things out to the right in towards Bree. Flicks it on first time. It's won by the feet of Clark, who drives forward with the ball, looking out left. He takes too much time on it, won by Falkingham. He's battled well so far in this game, opens up his body, good work again, steps past Bell this time. Down the line he goes to Thompson, but Luton is just so quick to getting people back. And there we are, it's Lansbury steps in and wins things back and instantly sets them on the front foot again. It's maybe that fitness difference between League Two and the Championship as well. Of course, they've had a month's rest, which often can mean that you're not sharp, but it also gives you a chance to fully recover, doesn't it, from any niggles that you might have had? Yeah,
it's recharging the batteries, and it's recovering players from niggles, but also players recovering from COVID as well, potentially for them, who are now more up to speed, up to fitness. It is just showing now there's more gaps. I mentioned the first half, they applied themselves well, Harrogate, but how long can they keep their fitness levels up for with just 4 subs? It's maybe showing a little bit now because it's just easier for Luton to bring the ball forward. They've got more time on it as well. Yeah, when they win the ball back at the back in their own half, like they have done just now, there was no real urgency to drive forward, was there? They just had to play the ball around the back. Then Luton players started charging around, and guess what? The last option is a long ball up to Armstrong, who's not really won anything today. So it's hard for him, isn't it? Because it's long, high balls, but that's what Luton defenders like. They're happy to have that sort of aerial challenge, that aerial battle with Armstrong, and like you said, they've won probably the vast majority of those.
Yeah, and they've got 3 centre halves on, and an extra number always helps, doesn't it? He is isolated up there, Armstrong, because Muldoon is having to battle on the left-hand side, but then he gives the ball away here into Bree. Quick 1-2 goes back to Bree, opens up the play to the right-hand side. Cameron Jerome just holding things off and laying it back to Lansbury, swept forward, controlled by Bree really well, because it was a really rather confusing ball from Henry Lansbury. Didn't really have to see any aim on it as Bell puts it across on the left-hand side, looking for the front post. Good, brave header in there from the Harrogate defender. I think it was Sharon coming across. There was a foot up in the air from a Luton man and dove with it with his head and won the ball. As Bree just clips things back into the box once again, that's over everybody's head and goes out for a goal kick, but a brilliant header from Sharon there.
Brilliant header. Yeah, like you said, it's brave. I don't actually think the foot is that close to the defender's head from initial thought. The second cross from Bree, he's not meaning to go as straight as it is looking for Mendes Gomez. He's actually looking, I think it is, for Jerome on the left, and he gets it all wrong. And Gomez has actually said to him, why didn't you put it back that way? As well, this is the benefit that Luton have now with a full bench, isn't it? Is the fact that they've got 2 subs ready to come on, and then they've got another 2, I think, which will be coming on shortly after that.
Yeah, they've got another 2 who are stripped off, ready to go, but I've just put on a bib for now, because they'll wait 5 minutes and bring them on again. So, yeah, it's one of those 3 changes for today's game from for Luton. Lansbury, Jerome and Mendes have all come in for Campbell and Panzu and Musquet. And I have to say, I've seen Pele Ruddock and Panzu in the past. He's a bright player, attacking midfielder, and it looks like Henry Lansbury is going to be one of the players coming off now. So we'll have to see and await confirmation as to who comes on. It looks as though there's a couple initially, maybe Campbell, I think, is one, and maybe Berry is the other. Just seeing on the pitch now, yeah, Berry is coming on for Henry Lansbury. Berry, one of those who's been out with an injury recently. He's forced himself back into fitness, and Cameron Jerome is the second change. And coming on for him, we'll just get confirmation. It looks as though it is going to be Alan Campbell, the number 22. So central midfielder for a striker, just packing those midfield areas now, just making sure they can control things. And a change also coming for Harrogate as well. So they're going to use a second of their 4 allotted substitutions. As coming off the field, there is Lloyd Kerry, and coming on is the youngster in midfield, who's only played 1 time before for Harrogate after joining from Huddersfield Town as well, Josh Osterfield. So 4 changes onto the field. We'll see how that changes things, but I have to say I feel as though it's all in Luton's hands, and they're going to be bright now going forward. Yeah, they've got fresh legs on, haven't they? And that's all they really need. You'd feel to see out this game. It's, you know, keep your focus, keep concentrated, no silly mistakes, and just do things simple. Don't take risks, and I think you'll be okay, because Harrogate, they just seem to have lost a little bit of spark about them as Luton come forward again. Yeah, it's a cutback ball from Bree as Diarra wins it, but then loses it again. The ball almost gets flicked back to Bree, but it's a hold-up play in the middle. It eventually falls the way of Mendes Gomez, and on the right foot now, strike at goal. It's blocked initially, and then another volley comes forward, but that one was blocked in the end as well. It's the number 18 there. Is that Berry who's come onto the field? Jordan Clark, sorry. I mean, Jordan Clark's barely been involved in this game, I have to say. He's not really been noticeable. I mean, to be honest, Lloyd Kerry for Harrogate hadn't really done a great deal either. The same as sort of Jack Muldoon. And those 2, I think, it's been difficult because they've had to try and slot back a little bit and into midfield to help out with the defending, which has just left Luke Armstrong isolated up front by himself. Absolutely. And Harrogate with a throw-in down the left-hand side now. It's Lewis Page who throws it inside and throws it straight to a Luton man, and it's Jordan Clark who picks it up. It's a ball back in towards Bree, maybe looking for a ball down the line, but that almost summarises Harrogate Town's second half, really, doesn't it? That throw in, it was really poor, but a good piece of play there, and eventually it's a little bit of a slip there by Muldoon, and Luton can come down the left-hand side. It's into the feet of Mendes Gomez. Runner down the line is Amari Bell, but inside comes Mendes Gomez, strikes at goal. It's blocked away there by Sherrod, and goes out for a throw on the right-hand side. Again, it's more confidence from Luton, isn't it, to run with the ball there and have a shot from distance. That they know they've got this 2-goal buffer, 2-0 up against Harrogate, and they know the away side is struggling to create. It is just breaking down for Harrogate when, you know, they do pick up the ball in quite good positions. You know, they win it high up the field, but
They don't have the playmaker, do they?
No, they don't. It's Campbell in towards Berry. Berry just under pressure quickly there by Falkingham. It comes back into Bree. Early cross comes in, header out by McCardle. Will be picked up, will it, by Amari Bell? No, he loses it into Thompson. Thompson goes back inside and loses it himself. Adebayo then tries to nutmeg the defender. It eventually somehow scampers back into the feet of Oxley, who just fires it long down the left-hand side. But it's those moments in it, those second balls, as Diarra now nicks the ball off Bree, drives forward himself on the edge of the box now, finds Muldoon, who turns quickly under pressure, looking for a man out on the right-hand side maybe, as Burrell has made a run down that right, eventually receives it from Falkingham, but Harrogate just being outnumbered here. They're being forced backwards, and a poor ball inside from Burrell is thankfully picked up by himself once again, but they're not really going anywhere here. They're pegged on the right flank. Now back with Falkingham once again, and he decides to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, who's under pressure, and fires it long in behind the Luton defence and into the goalkeeper. And they did really well with Diarra to win the ball, but the attack came to nothing. Yeah,
good, strong play by Diarra. I think James Bray on that side, he's just trying to usher it out, and then he's just trying to lean into his man, who just steps away from that half a step, and it sends him down to the floor. I mentioned it before with Fallowfield going off. They're probably not going to have that same attacking outlet with Warren Burrell on him, and they haven't, because Burrell had no desire really to try and charge forward there. When he got the ball, he was always looking sideways or behind. It wasn't the give and go and him making the run down the line and stretching the defence. It was just, it's a centre-back playing right-back, isn't it? They don't have that same sort of focus and goal to try and get further forward.
Yeah, and Thompson knows it, doesn't he? So Thompson is now just sat there flanked on the wing, isn't he? He's not really moving from that position, whereas before he was driving inside and allowing the run outside of him. It's an unfortunate moment for Harrogate with their current situation, as McCardle puts his hand to his face to have a look forward, but eventually just has to go square with his ball into Sherrin. Long ball down the right-hand side now is easily headed down by Luton, and down the left-hand side, Bell is able to keep it in play. He drives down the flank, goes inside to Campbell. It's won back by Harrogate, then almost given away straight into Berry, and a long ball up towards Armstrong. Now maybe a chance to have a bit of hold-up play, turns one way then the other, almost trips and flicks the ball out of play, but still on the ball here. Eventually comes back to Burrell, who eventually does run down the line as Thompson has to lay it back into Falkingham. Osterfield on the ball once again, lays it off, and Harrogate just have to go back to their centre halves now. Incidentally, we're just coming up to around about 2 o'clock, which means a few of the other games in the FA Cup are commencing. A couple of those games also on this service, and we're also 3/4 of the way through this game as well. Luton 2, Harrogate 0, which means it's over to James for the rest of the half, and a game which Luton will certainly be happy with the way things have gone, given their month off. But you never know. This game could bring up an FA Cup miracle.
Could. I'd be very, very surprised. We haven't mentioned the dreaded word for commentators, isn't it, when it's in these games. Is coming forward, our Luton now into the penalty area. A little step over from a tight angle. Shot comes in, and that one's been blocked behind by the goalkeeper. And it will be a corner kick. It was Jordan Clark who was getting himself in behind. Yeah, the dreaded ET, as these are usually go to replays, don't they, if it's level after 90 minutes, but not with everything that's been going on with the COVID pandemic. So we won't say it fully, because it might happen in the end. Corner kick, though, to Luton Town. Be a right-footed in-swing and delivery. 0-0, by the way, in all the earlier games that have just kicked off now at 2 p.m. Just a minute or so into those, as Adebayo's being held on the line by Armstrong. Corner comes in, decent-looking ball, and it's missed in the near post there. It was a good opportunity. Back out to the corner kick taker, trying to get a cross in. It was actually Luke Berry who tried to sort of cut in there. Foot comes in, and it's popped out for a throw on the far left-hand side. But good first ball in there from the corner. Yeah, it wasn't. We've not said that too many times today from the corner kicks. A lot of them have been hitting the first man, haven't they? And haven't troubled the goalkeepers when necessary. But in the end, it was a good ball in and troubled the defence, but they were able to just hold things off for the moment. The other 2 games then on this service, Liverpool against Shrewsbury, and also is Wolverhampton Wanderers against Sheffield United. They're both 0-0, as you mentioned. Much change Liverpool's side as well, actually. Yep. Keller in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson. Good backline, really. Dixon, Bonner, Fabinho, Morton, Gordon, Waltman and Jones is their side there. So maybe a chance for Shrewsbury Town. I mean, they did force Liverpool into a replay in the 4th round last year, didn't they? It was 2-2 at Shrewsbury, and then it was 1-0 in the replay at Anfield. So who knows? Are Liverpool going to go in the shock box? I don't think they are.
They could do. Shrewsbury unchanged, so they're playing their first 11. So you never know. Full strength Shrewsbury against a makeshift Liverpool. We will see. But you would expect Liverpool to win, of course.
You would. It would be obviously the biggest shock of the third round so far. If Liverpool went out, Spurs are also at home to Morecambe. Obviously not on this service, but Stoke, Leyton Orient as well. Charlton, Norwich. I think Charlton are really good. When I looked at the prices earlier to beat Norwich City, I mentioned before that Newcastle, Burnley and Watford are all out. I don't think Norwich will be wanting a long FA Cup run with the focus on Premier League survival. Cardiff, Preston as well.
All four of those teams are more looking at the league, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. As Luton are coming forward down the right-hand side, it's with Bree. Low ball in towards the near post, and that one's been stabbed behind for a corner kick. Will we see the other double change here made by Luton? There was 2 players on the sidelines ready to come on. To wait and see, but again, Breeze definitely got forward down the right hand side a lot more than he did in the opening half. Former Barnsley James Bree, I think I'm right in saying, and a player that seemed to have a really bright future but just didn't go on to the next level.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I dare to say it again, but maybe a month off has not helped him in terms of match sharpness, but as you say, this second half so far has been a lot brighter.
Yeah, this corner comes in, right-footed out swinger is missed, and it's sort of eventually stabbed away by the Harrogate defence. It's picked back up by Bell. Bell then tries to play a diagonal ball to the right-hand side, just inside the area. It's flicked and headed behind by Page, and it will be another corner kick. 70 minutes gone. Luton Town 2, Harrogate 0, and we're going to see these changes now, and it is going to be Amari Bell. So his work for this afternoon is done, and it will be Pele Ruddock to come on to replace him. Well, that's not a bad first name, is it there? Pele, and then, what, Razor Ruddock for the last one?
It's Ruddock and Panzu, so he's even better than that. He's got 3.
3 names. Well, dearie me, it's just selfish, that one, is it? But he's on to the field of play, and Amari Bell was the man to go off, and it is going to be Jordan Clark who is going off as well. Just trying to see who that's coming on. Is that Fred Onyedima who was coming on? Oh, if I pronounced that one right there.
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
we'll go with it.
Onyedima, we'll go with it. Yeah, 2 goals and 3 assists so far this season in the league, so a bright player as well to bring on the bench.
This corner will eventually come in now. It's Berry with it. Right foot is sort of a floating one towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed away. Falls, though, towards the edge of the area where it's picked back up then by Gomez. And now Luton try and spray it across to this right-hand side, which they do. Now it is with Ruddock who's come on. That one's been cleared away. And now actually Harrogate are running this one out from the back. Wasn't the greatest ball in by the recent substitutes, as now Harrogate will win themselves a free kick midway through their own half. Just a little bit too boisterous in the challenge there. But 4 subs made now by Luton Town, and it is just a case of them seeing this game out, really, isn't it? Potentially getting a 3rd goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nathan Jones is known across the leagues as a bright up-and-coming manager, and he's set out his team well today. Of course, it's not been the winter break that they wanted in terms of fixtures and the way things have gone, but they've been bright today. It's another step in the right direction, and a chance, as you said, in the first half to potentially push towards a playoff spot, that sort of thing in the league, and the momentum from this cup could help them. You mentioned those other teams that have gone out in the FA Cup, and they will be focusing on the league. We said that may be the case for Luton today, but you can always use those cups for your advantage as well. You can play the players that didn't necessarily play in the league and bring on the likes of Pele Ruddock and Panzu and Onyedima, and they can get minutes under the belt and get in some form.
You said you've seen Pele Ruddock and Panzu play. We'll ask you about that in just a moment. Well, Harrogate do actually have a corner kick. Set pieces could be the best chance they have to score. Right-footed, in-swing delivery, bit of pace on that one. It was a good delivery, but headed away. And now Luton trying to run out from the back. They've given it away, though, but then so have Harrogate, but the ball bounces back towards halfway, where Page is under a little bit of pressure, hooks it forward with his right foot. Could have been a horrible moment there for Page, but Harrogate do still have the ball. The blue shirts now working across the back, and well, it gives me a bit of time then to ask you about Pele Ruddock and Panzu.
Yeah, he's a bright player. He likes he likes to stay on the ball, tricks and flicks and confidence on the ball. Likes to drive with it and burst through the midfield areas in a sort of way like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain does for Liverpool. He's a player that's very direct, isn't he? When he gets the ball, it's not necessarily gone all his way in his career, but Pelleroda Kempanzu is certainly one of those that could do just that job for Luton and can contribute to the play in terms of goals and assists going forward.
Good as Harrogate have the ball on the halfway line. Now it is with their skipper in Falkingham down the line to Burrell, but he's been dispossessed rather easily. And again, there's no real sort of go forward from Burrell there. He's always looking sideways or back down the line. And now Luton are going forward again down this right with Bree once more. He's allowed to stretch his legs. He's looking up into the box, but holds it. Just drops it to his outside there, where a teammate has it in Onyedinma. Onyedinma then looking up, just finds Bree, who's a couple of yards away from him. Those two exchanging passes. Back down the line then towards Mpanzu. He then just goes short into the path of Mendes Gomez, out towards the right-hand side again. Patient play by Luton, holding the ball well. Back in field to Gomez, tries to thread a through ball there, looking for Onyedinma. Harrogate managed to clear their lines, but only temporarily, as Luton have got it back. Now it's on the left corner of the penalty area. It's with Campbell. Campbell, though, just flicks it straight back into the path of a blue shirt. And now Harrogate are charging over the halfway line. An opportunity now as Armstrong has played in down this right-hand side. He's got a defender up against him, waiting for support just inside the box as the big striker has to go all the way back down the line. Harrogate still with a little bit of momentum in this attack. It's played down that right-hand side for Burrell again. Cuts onto his left foot, delivers a good-looking ball in. Armstrong with a flicked header, and it's past the far post there. The keeper, James Shea, he was motionless. He was just hoping that was going wide.
Absolutely. It's the first time that Armstrong's managed to get onto the end of a cross, isn't it? And you can see his aerial talent. He's flicked the ball towards goal. He's beaten his man.
Oof.
Not quite on target, but as you said, the goalkeeper's rooted to his spot. That could have been a huge moment in this game.
Could have been. I mean, if they got one back there, it would have given them 15 minutes plus stoppage time, and it would have just given them that second win, wouldn't it, to have another go? But still, if they could get one in the next 10 minutes and have a grandstand sort of 5 minutes plus stoppage time finish, then who knows what could happen here. They are still just in the game really at 2-0, but the Hatters would be annoyed if they give up this comfortable position that they're looking at the moment. But that will be a warning to them, that headed opportunity there for Luke Armstrong. Maybe not to lose focus as Luton have it back now with James Shea. Plays a long ball downfield with his right foot out towards that left flank, but that's a good win in the air by Burrell. That's actually what the centre-back playing at right-back is good at, is winning those aerial balls played into the channels. It's on the halfway line now as Harrogate. They're just enjoying a little bit of possession, aren't they?
Yeah, Osterfield's been bright since he came on. He's been very safe with the ball alongside his skipper, and he's done well in that slot since coming into the middle of the park, and it's helping them progress forward. Going
forward again at Harrogate, just on the edge of the area. Ball fizzed in there. Don't really know. I was looking for Diarra at the far post, but I don't think he was ever going to get on the end of it. And now Luton turning defence into attack. Good slide challenge comes in. Then another slide comes in as Harrogate now get the ball down that right-hand side. Over halfway they go. It's with Falkingham now. Falkingham into the path then of Muldoon. Dropping deeper for this one is the number 18. Back inside to the skipper. Just working it short. Nice passes here. They're still coming forward now. It's Muldoon again. Tries to thread a through ball for Armstrong. It's half cleared away. Armstrong gets it on the edge of the box. Now it's Diarra with a chance at the far post. Left-footed shot. And he puts it wide of the goal. What an opportunity for Diarra. He said it should have been a corner. I don't think James Shea has got anything on this. But what a chance. Is that the moment in the game?
How many times have we spoken about Diarra on his left foot? Every single time he's not looked confident. This time has to strike it left-footed. A more assured striker maybe have gone for a chip, may have tucked it in that far corner, but he's dragged it wide. It's such a huge moment, as you say. That could have been the moment in the game whereby Luton get a little bit nervous in front of the home crowd.
Could have been 2-2. Luke Armstrong's header, which just went wide, and that there is the best opportunity that Harrogate have had in this game. Diarra, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. The angle's not bad. Like you said, a more accomplished goal scorer probably just lifts it over the keeper, lifts it over his legs into the far corner. Because he's gone low, he's having to try and evade the keeper's legs, so he's gone for a bit more of a tighter angle, and it just hasn't worked for him.
Yeah, no, that's that. But he has been really bright today, hasn't he, the youngster? And he's played really well for Harrogate. It's just not quite worked in those moments. It's the fine margins of FA Cup football, isn't it?
It is, and, you know, in the space of 2 minutes, it could have been 2-2. As it is, there's been a change as well. Danny Hilton has come on for Luton, and Elijah Adebayo, his work for this afternoon is done. He's got his goal. Just seeing the substitute made there, Danny Hilton. On the field of play, the number 9. See what he can do in these last sort of 12 or so minutes. Just to give you an update on scores elsewhere. There are no goals, 0-0 in all of those 2 p.m. games that have kicked off in the Premier League. just the 2 goals in FA Cup matches so far, both in our game. Luton 2, Harrogate 0. As Harrogate trying to work something down the left. It's just broken down, though. And Luton have just got to refocus a little bit because they've made some changes, and sometimes it can happen with a bit disjointed, certainly in defence. But Onyedinma now is coming forward for Luton down this right-hand side. Into the box he goes, a little step over onto his left foot, has a strike at the near post, it's blocked away. Then the rebound effort comes in from Campbell, and that's gone horribly wide and high, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, post strike from Campbell in the air, but bright from Onyedinma in the end, running down that right-hand side. I did have just a quick look at the African Cup of Nations, of course, which starts this afternoon, our time. Onyedinma, Nigerian, didn't get picked for the squad. I just thought Peleruda Kempanzu, Democratic Republic of Congo, they've not qualified for the tournament. I didn't quite realise that. The likes of Yannick Bolasie that they've got in their team, they didn't qualify, so that's maybe why he's still at Luton. Yeah,
AFCON's been some strange decisions, hasn't there? Manuel Dennis has not been released by Watford pretty much because Watford saying Nigeria didn't ask for him quick enough. Well, I wonder if they weren't in a battle against relegation, whether they would have allowed their top goal scorer to go to AFCON and represent his country. I think they probably would have. Interestingly, Harrogate was saying today, with the fact they've only had 4 subs on, AFCON, the rules are, if you've got 11 players, then you play your match. It doesn't get called off. And it doesn't matter if one of those 11 players isn't a goalkeeper.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's just 11 players. If you've got them, then you play.
That's old school, back to the days where they used to have one substitute, isn't it?
That is. It's like you're just going to have to deal with what's happening at the moment. So could make for some interesting watching. Some teams that you may not expect to maybe go far. I think it's Comoros are making their first major appearance at an international tournament. So be interesting to see how teams do. Yeah, I mean, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's already returned a positive test and won't be able to play the first game at least, so it could throw up some spanners, couldn't it? Could indeed. A long ball upfield now as we're into the final 10 minutes of our contest. Luton 2, Harrogate 0. And, well, for all of it seems comfortable for Luton, Harrogate have just had 2 gilt-edge, well, at least 1 gilt-edge opportunity to get a goal back through Diarra, dragging wide on one-on-one as the ball comes in from the right by Bree towards the far post there. It's volleyed up into the air by Burrell. It's a good clearance on that one. It's brought down by the number 17 then, Mpanzu. Then he goes for a crossfield ball. It's a nice one back towards halfway, actually. It's chested down by his skipper, Bradley. And now he'll just lay it towards his left-hand side for Naismith. Down the line there. And Amari, oh, sorry, not Amari Bell. It's Mpanzu, I think, or Onyedinma down that left-hand side. Free kick is given. It's Nuno Gomez, excuse me, and Mendes Gomez who's got the free kick there. And he's been a willing runner down that side, hasn't he? But Burrell there, that was a centre-back's challenge, playing it right back. Yeah, well, he just won the ball in the box, didn't he, from that previous cross, in a way that a centre-half would as well. He mopped up really well, but on that occasion, he doesn't like being stuck out on the flank, does he, there at Burrell? But yeah, Mendes Gomez, he's been bright. He's not quite been his fluid, silky best. I don't think maybe that month has not helped him in terms of in terms of overlapping and allowing Adebayo to join in the play as well from up front. Have indeed. Luke Berry standing over this is free kick. There's a goal update we'll give you in a moment in one of the FA Cup games. Is to be a right-footed one in there, all crowding inside that 6-yard box. It's delivered right into there and it's headed up and away. Bree will bring it down just on the edge of the penalty area he's forced out to. And then under a little bit of pressure just turns back and Luton keeping hold of possession, and Panju then goes for another sort of diagonal ball. It's a flick towards the edge of the area. I tell you what, there was a great strike that came in there. There's still another opportunity. A little dig finish. Oh, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant by the centre-half, Cal Naismith, who has some superb work on the edge of the box when the ball broke to him. He totted it up, had a volley. It was blocked superbly, but he gets onto the rebound. He drives into the box, and with the keeper coming out, he just dinks it over him and into the back of the net. That is brilliant. 3-0 game over. That is exceptional, isn't it? That's up there for one of the goals of the season in the FA Cup this season, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned him before when he took that corner previously. He's certainly got the technique, and it's so audacious for a centre-half and the man that's playing at the back of that in the middle of that back three. Just chests it before Sharon comes across. Of course, the first block was made by McCardle, and then just makes the goalkeeper look silly. Superb there from Naismith. Yeah, it's completely put the game to bed now. Luton are going to have their name into the hat for the 4th round, which incidentally takes place after the West Ham Leeds game at 2 p.m. that kicked off there. So even though some of the ties aren't completed. Man United Villa tomorrow evening. Got Arsenal later on as well against Nottingham Forest. We will have the 4th round draw before those 2 games are completed, as Luton have it on the far side of the field. Now it's in then towards Naismith. Another little sort of chip ball over the top there, looking for Campbell, who's done well to keep a hold of this one. Harrogate trying to clear their lines. They just get a foot in at the crucial time. Wasn't the strongest of defending, as it's now out towards this near right-hand side. But Luton, I think this will be good for them, because their form wasn't fantastic, was it? But at least this will give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-0 is never a bad result, is it? On the other hand, Harrogate will be disheartened by it, really. That I don't think they deserve 3-0 in terms of their effort rate, but Luton's quality has shone through, and it's got a lot of people on the pitch that made their 4 substitutions, got some more miles in the legs, and match sharpness back, and yeah, a good afternoon's work for Nathan Jones' side.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if Harrogate had their sort of full squad complement to choose from, whether they would have challenged any better. Like you said, they've applied themselves well, but just haven't had that little bit in the final third when they've needed it. 2 great opportunities they've had in this second half. The Armstrong header, which he put wide, and then the best one, which was Diarra when he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, with the goal gaping him. Could have been 2-2, and then suddenly, 5 minutes later, it's 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Just they've been clinical at exactly the right moments, Luton, in terms of taking this game away from Harrogate. Right at the start of the second half is always a huge goal, isn't it, in terms of doubling the advantage, and it's been a sucker punch. Then that early goal that you mentioned was Daniel Podence for Wolves at home against Sheffield United. Very
good. Covered Wolves' win against Man United, actually. It was a very good. I think Wolves have been excellent this season, just have struggled in the final third a bit, but Harrogate have got another chance now as the ball is broken towards Diarra. Then he tries to square it for Armstrong, right for the shot comes in. What a save, scrambling save by the goalkeeper, and that's the... No confidence in Diarra really in himself to try and find the back of the net there himself and take it into the box. But his pass was brilliant, and Armstrong, you'll be thinking, what's he got to do to score?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what a save.
It's brilliantly weighted, isn't it, from Diarra onto the right foot of Armstrong, who has to slide to get there. It's not right in the bottom corner, which helps the goalkeeper, but as you say, he's turned quickly, he's scrambled across, reached across, and kept his clean sheet intact.
Yeah. Moment, less than 5 minutes to go. Corner comes in swinging delivery with the left foot. It's headed away. Good strong header. Then a volley comes in from the edge of the box there. That's been blocked away. Then it's nodded back into the area. Another head comes in from McCardle, I think that was, and was let go by the goalkeeper to go behind for a goal kick. But that was a good effort that came in for Osterfield there.
Yeah, it was absolutely on the right foot. Had the confidence to have a strike. Maybe one of those he's thinking, if it's 1-0 to Luton and not you're pushing to get that winner, he may not have had the confidence to take that, but he's 3-0 down. They're never going to come back in this game. Why not have a strike? And he struck it well.
Yeah, may as well go for it. May as well have a dig from distance. There's no rush for James Shea to take this goal kick for Luton. They are 4 minutes plus added time away from the next round of the FA Cup. Ball downfield is eventually taken, then the little flick on and it's fallen to Diarra again, and now he's charging through on goal here into the penalty area he goes, left-footed strike, and the keeper has tipped that one behind, and it's going to be another corner. And again, Diarra thinking, what do I have to do? I think the keeper read that one quite well, but it was another chance.
Yeah, I think he knew that Diarra was going to go across goal, didn't he? But yeah, he slowed down. It could have been. It may have been drifting towards the post. I think it was curling away from goal, but still the goalkeeper makes a good save. But they had their chances today, Harrogate.
4 good chances now for Harrogate, all in this second half. Corner comes in towards the near post. That's poor though, that's headed away. Stooping down there was Danny Hilton, and now Luton trying to turn defence into attack, but that doesn't quite work for them. Oh, dearie me, that's a terrible attempted clearance there downfield by Falkenham, and now Luton are going forward down the left-hand side of the field with Onyedinma. Onyedinma, great play there as he cuts inside past Burrell. Still coming forward is Onyedinma towards the byline, cuts it back here. Should be a fourth, is a fourth. Luke Berry with a clinical finish there, hits the underside of the bar, I think, on the way into the back of the net. It's Luton 4, Harrogate 0, and that's just the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been clinical when they've needed to be, Luton, and on the break, of course, Harrogate throwing everybody forward. It's brilliant work from Onyedinma on the left-hand side. He just skips past Burrell, who's looked completely out of place at right back there, and a brilliant cutback. He's got it through the defender's legs that's pressuring him, and none of the defenders, they're all scampering back towards their own goal. They can't slow down quick enough to stop and turn and put pressure on Berry, who's just sat there with basically what is a penalty.
Pretty much. I don't think he probably wanted to get it that high and close, because it does flick the underside of the bar. Not just flick, it hits it pretty well, but he's found the back of the net. He's got his first goal. He's got Luton's fourth, and Luton 4, Harrogate 0. It's a little bit harsh on the scoreline for Harrogate, who have had their chances in this second half, but that is what is the difference between the sides, why they're in differing divisions. It's just that quality in front of goal. Luton have had it in this game, and Harrogate have not. Harrogate kick off, and they're immediately forward down this right-hand side. Chance for the ball to go into the box. It's played further down the line towards Armstrong. Now it's with Burrell. Tries to put a cross in. It's deflects away into the path of Armstrong, who's battled well to get it back. Now it's inside towards Falkingham, the skipper. We've got a minute and a half to go of regular time, plus any added time. I mean, if you're the referee, you just do a couple of minutes, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they usually put 30 seconds on for every substitution and goal celebration there or abouts, but surely he's not going to have 4 or 5 minutes. There's no point, is there?
Wait and see. We'll wait and see. He'll put on 8 now, probably. Just over a minute to go, plus added time then. Ball out for a throw on the far right-hand side, just over halfway for Harrogate, down the line by Burrell. It's well chested down and controlled then by Armstrong. Holds off the on-rushing Mendes Gomez, back with Falkingham. He tries to clip one down the line. A bit too much on that one, though, and it's just smashed downfield. Will be a throw-in for Harrogate, but Luton have managed to clear their lines well. Less than a minute to go of normal time. Good to see Kenilworth Road is... It's not full to the brim, but there's a good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't expect it to be full to the brim. For yes, it's an FA Cup game, but it is only Harrogate Town, who are a couple of leagues below them. If it was a team above them, of course, you'd expect against a Premier League team a full house, but that's what you're playing for. You're playing for that in the next round, aren't you?
Yeah, they'll be hoping that their name is drawn out against Chelsea, City, someone like that. It's the revenue, it's the gate receipts that the Premier League clubs usually give towards the opposition if they're lower league that they're playing against as well. As Luton just passing the ball across the back at the moment, just seeing out this game now. Luton 4, Harrogate 0. And what has been, well, a comfortable scoreline for Luton, but not really comfortable in terms of across the whole 90 minutes. Harrogate have applied themselves very well, and they've missed opportunities as the referee is waving away what they thought was a free kick there for Jack Muldoon. Harrogate, as Mpanzu then just toe pokes one back towards his skipper Bradley, out towards the left-hand side. 2 minutes of added time is gone up on the board as well, so the referee heard. He thought, you know what, we'll let them have the 2 minutes, we'll let them get away. Ball back now towards one of the goal scorers, Naismith, who has had the best finish of this game with a lovely little dink over the goalkeeper. Now it's with Hilton. Oh, Hilton, brilliant play by him as he just turns the ball around the corner. And now a little dink ball towards the edge of the box, looking for Onyedinma. Doesn't quite happen. The offside flag had gone up, though, against him. And we've got about a minute or so to go. Man of the match for you in this game?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Harrogate have played more of the stuff along the ground until these last 15 minutes or so, but I just think the quality that Adebayo showed up front was different class to anybody else on the field. I mean, if you're looking at Harrogate players, I think Fallowfield was good down the right, just without that final play. I think Falkingham was good for 75 minutes or so when they managed to hold out Luton 2-0 and then still be able to create chances up the other end, but it's got to go to a Luton player, hasn't it? And Adebayo's been up there, and I think I would probably give it to him.
Yes, I think I'm probably in agreement that Adebayo when he was on, or
Naismith
maybe Naismith with that finish and the clean sheet.
Yeah.
But they have given chances. They have given chances, Harrogate, and not, you know, sort of half ones. There's been clear through runs on goal, 2 for Diarra now. So, yeah, I'd say Adebayo. When he was on, he was very good. He worked well with Cameron Jerome when he was on the field of play as well. 20 seconds of 2 added on to go now. Free kick for Harrogate, midway through Luton's half, bang in the middle as well. Not a great angle as Thompson has it, plays it low into the penalty area, and then the player goes over there. Not many shouts for a penalty as Hilton now tries to turn and run it clear, but he loses possession. Back out to Page down this left-hand side. Maybe one last opportunity, ball into the box, goes behind. Surely.
I just wanted Thompson to hit that free kick from 40 yards just to shoot last minute.
Oh, there we go. The referee is not going to allow the goal kick to be taken. Full time has been blown. So Luton have put their name into the 4th round, into the hat for the 4th round of the FA Cup. Goals from Adebayo, Jerome, Naismith and Berry have given them a 4-0 win. Full time Luton Town 4, Harrogate Town 0. Surely.
I just wanted Thompson to hit that free kick from 40.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity?
40 yards just to shoot last minute.
Oh, there we go.